Wall Street Memes Casino,
I'm fine.
and Sportsbook.
This is Oscar Bevis for IFL TV. Viddal. It's good to see you, my man. How are we today?
You too, man. I'm good, man. I'm good. Just doing what I need to do, man. It's part of the job, and it's a privilege as well because obviously you get extra push, extra promotion. A lot of people are begging for it, wish they had it. I have it, so I got to make the most of it, man.
Love that. It's been an exciting few days for yourself. Let's begin by talking about this long-term commitment made to Boxer and Sky Sports. First off, congratulations. And secondly, can we get something more specific than long-term? What we talking?
We're talking the foreseeable future, bro. Because the team didn't say how long. I know that means you don't say how long, innit? So it's for a good amount of time, and it's definitely for the amount of time where I go from being a prospect into fringe world level, and where I should be fully announced as who I am. I should be a champion with credible belts by the time this contract is up for expiry. So it's a good amount of time for me to really get my hands stuck in to the juicy part of the division, and then hopefully the contract after that, we can do it on a Zoom and I'm in a Rolls Royce or something.
I'm sure we could do that now, but I'm not one to speculate. Was it an easy conversation for you to have with Ben? I know you've got a great relationship.
Yeah. No, you know me. I'm very upfront, man. I'm very direct. I know what I want. I know what I don't want. And I work with a team who can accommodate my wishes and also add things that I haven't thought about. So we had the discussions. We're very professional. 258 done a great job in representing me to get the renewal over the line, and with terms that work for Boxer, Sky Sports, and myself, of course. So nah, man. Credit to the management team for sure. And yeah, credit to Boxer and Sky for granting my wishes.
Well, I saw a throwback just a couple of days ago from Brooke Khan, and obviously that was the card you made your Boxer debut on. So
Mm.
about 2 years since then. If you can, how do you assess the 2 years?
I think it's been a great 2 years. I think I've become the fighter that I was in that fight against Shehepo. Is completely different to the fighter I am now. My mentality is different. I think I don't know. I feel like that was like the start. That was literally the start of me growing into the person I am now and maturing, not as only as a fighter, but as a man. I think that was a big stage to fight on. It's a very demanding, but it made me grow. It made me realize what I need to work on, who I need to be, and how I'm gonna get to the top of the game. So it's been a great journey the past 2 years, man. Been a very good journey.
Well, look, prior to your UK debut, obviously you've done the work with KSI, built your profile in that scene. Of course, anyone in boxing would have known you for your own boxing. You only have to go into West Ham to see your name on the board alongside some top fighters. But how was it having to perhaps change some people's perception of you and almost stamp your authority to say, hold on, I am a professional boxer and I'm here to make noise and win titles?
Um, I always knew that was gonna happen. I just needed the opportunity and time. It wasn't the main focus. Like it wasn't like I'm gonna make sure everyone doesn't think I'm a YouTuber. No. Like I can't control what people think, man. People are still gonna think that when I'm a world champion, someone is, bro. You know how people are. So for me, it was just like with time and fights, I will show that that's not just solely who I am, what I am, and I offer, and I'm a big part of the traditional game as well as I was a big part of the crossover game. So it was just a timing thing, man. I have my own goals. I kind of live in my own time in a way, as much as I can anyway, of course.
Look, I'll tell you one thing, it's been fun so far. You have been very fun to watch either live or on our screens. This is
Mm.
probably a foolish question for me to ask, but what's the best moment been of the 2 years? I think I know what you're going to say, but I've got to ask.
What do you think I'm gonna say?
I mean, it's got to be your call, English title.
Yeah, I think the two highlight points are of course winning the English title, my first professional title, and also the rematch with Anis Taj as well. because, not a lot of people have rematches early in their career. But I feel like I made the right step again because he had a true belief he could beat me. He proved in the first fight that he could get to me. Um, so I think taking that immediate rematch done a lot for myself as a fighter and as a person, because we're just gonna run it back, secure a win in a definitive way, and then we move straight into the title fight. Nathan Quala's 13-0, good boxer, very experienced guy, quite slick, and we just shut him out the fight. So for me, it's just like, right, we're growing. The opponent got better. It didn't change the result. It didn't change how clear I win. So that means we got to step up again and then see if the guys higher up can hack it as I keep getting better and keep getting more experience.
Well, there you go. You said about stepping up again, March the 31st, on what I have to say is shaping up to be an unbelievable card. Yourself and Mikael Lawal, that's a wicked fight. That is a wicked fight.
Yeah, no, it's a great fight. It's the fight I chose. He wasn't suggested to me as an opponent. I was just laying down, staring at my hairline one day, and I thought the only way to get this transplant is to fight better people and make more money.
Is that a standard day in the
So
life of Viddal Riley? Just laying there,
standard day in
looking at the
standard
hairline.
day in life, looking at my forehead, and then I thought, you know what? Had a light bulb moment. I said it makes sense that if I'm calling out Chamberlain and he's delaying until later on in the year, I should fight someone who's a former British champion, get that experience under my belt, and make myself more dangerous. Because I could have had an easier fight. No one pressured me into fighting Lawal, but it is not even a disrespect thing. I just have that old school mentality. I'm like, man, you're a good fighter. I respect you. We can create a good fight for the people. Let's run it.
What are your thoughts on him as a fighter? On like his strengths?
Powerful, very powerful. He's been a pro for a long time as well, so he's got a lot of experience. He's sparred a lot of world class people as well. So I know he's got the knowledge. I know he's got the knowledge. I know he's got the athleticism. I know he's got the power, and I know he's gonna have the bit between his teeth because coming off a first loss of his career, no one wants to lose two fights in a row, and no one wants to lose two fights in a row and go down a level, basically lose again and go down a level, because he was British champion. This, hopefully for the English, trying to get that confirmed. But then if you lose the English title fight, I mean, you're not gonna go from being where he was to fighting for Southern Area. You know what I mean? So I feel like this is his last chance to really stay in the mix and stay amongst the names where you can wake up in the morning and say, cool, this is worth my time.
Yeah. Are you going to have that little thing in the back of your mind that goes, I want to do it better than Isaac?
Yeah, of course. Of course, I want to do it better than Isaac. I want to beat all my opponents better than they've been beaten previously. And I think I've done that so far. So I don't plan on changing that with Lawal. Lawal and Isaac weren't a great fight. Isaac boxed a good strategy and got a landslide victory, but it weren't a spectacle. It weren't exciting. Nothing stood out like that. So on the 31st of March, I'm hoping that the performance stands out and people can see, wow, okay, Isaac couldn't do that, and create some more talk, hopefully building up to a big showdown between me and him.
So not now, but one day.
I mean,
If he gets his hands
hopefully.
on the European title, I know there's talk of Chev, but if the European title's an option, I know you want to move quick. There's loads of possibilities of how you two could meet.
Yeah, there's many possibilities. I mean, the fight, if he goes for the European and he wins the European, I don't think he's gonna think, all right, Viddal, next. I think the next feeling would be to go and challenge for that world title. And try and get in the world picture. If he loses at the European level, then I mean he has to circle back down. And me and Chev are here waiting. So yeah, man, there's many ways the fight can happen. But my gut tells me and Isaac will probably fight for my British title rather than it being his British title.
I love it. Everyone's circling like sharks. The cruiserweight landscape is obviously mega over here. We got CBS and Richard Riakporhe coming very soon. How do you see that one?
I think Richard's going to try boxing more. I don't think it's going to be as much of a scrap. I think he's going to try and use his attributes, which we've seen him do over time. He's grown into the fighter that he is. I think he try to keep him long, and we know he's got power. So it's up to Billum to smother that and turn it into a scrap again. If I had to pick a winner, I think Richard, just because he's fresher as well. He hasn't got as much mileage on him. He's a fresher fighter. You've got the attributes that we saw Masternak executing well in Billum's last fight. Don't think he could take those 1-2s from Richard the same way he took them from Masternak. So I think, yeah, I got to lean towards Richard, but I never write Billum off because Billum's someone that lost his last amateur fight to me and went on to become British, Commonwealth, European, and world champion. And that's a true credit to him. I respect him highly because it goes to show, don't write me off, man. I've got a lot more in me.
What a full circle moment that would be if Chris is to win and stay at the top for another year, 18 months, 2 years, and you two do fight for a world title somehow.
I mean, better than fighting in the ABA quarterfinal, isn't it? I mean,
did you win the ABAs that year?
No, I lost in the semi.
Oh, okay. Was Chris a good amateur?
Semi. Chris, say that again, sir.
Was he a tough fight as an amateur? Was that your only meeting? Like, did you meet a couple of times? Or?
Yeah, no, he was a tough fighter because how he fights now. He's much more refined, but similar style, keeps the heat on you, keeps the pressure on you, sets that high tempo. Obviously, over 3 rounds, the end is near from the beginning. So with the boxing ability that I have, I managed to pick my punches and outbox him, but he was still applying mad heat. He was applying mad pressure, so. I know I can see why people struggle with him as a professional.
Yeah, mate, brilliant. I really appreciate your time. I've got to ask you one thing, just because we're a couple of weeks out. Anthony Joshua, Francis Ngannou, talk to me.
Yeah,
really interesting.
Obviously, I'm mega biased, isn't it? But I believe AJ gets the win. I genuinely believe that as well. I do. I think Ngannou had a very good performance against Fury. Fury was, I think, very lackadaisical with the fight. Probably was more in an exhibition mode rather than this guy's coming to win mode. And when you realize that on the night, it's a bit late. AJ's had the privilege of seeing, okay, now he comes to fight. He's actually serious. So the preparation would be better than Fury's. The mentality, and Ngannou's obviously going in there with confidence, but AJ has better technique than Tyson Fury. So I think he's going to struggle. Ngannou's going to struggle with the better technique. Someone that obviously is same size, powerful as him. And I think AJ gets the win between 5 and 7.
Wall Street Memes Casino
I'm fine.
and Sportsbook.